Welcome, everybody. It's ClicSeminars.LIVE, session number 1 with Pat Mesiti. I'm so happy to be here today, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Stewart, and here I am, folks. I am so excited to start off ClicSeminars.LIVE with our first presenter. This is Pat Mesiti. He is a highly effective communicator, most notably an income acceleration coach. Boy, do we need that more than ever. His passion is to equip and empower individuals and businesses to experience growth and prosperity to their fullest potential. His expertise is to shift mindsets and build a bigger people to produce results. You know, Pat has been all over the world. He's one of Australia's most successful speakers and coaches, and he's been in the company of some of the most famous people in the world. I want to introduce to ClicSeminars.LIVE, Pat Mesiti.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thank you. What an introduction, man. I can't wait to hear myself speak. And hey, firstly, a big thank you to Tom and everyone out there on Click Seminars. This is a seminar that's going to change your financial future. Now, I want every one of you to engage with me because I know that many of you sitting out there are on the cusp. You're at a point right now where you're about to flip over to another level. And my goal is very simple. I want to create millionaires. I'm not here to look pretty. I'm not here to sound pretty. I'm here to help you experience great wealth and abundance. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, but here's in a moment. But here's what I want you to understand. Every 60 seconds, someone becomes a millionaire. My question is, why not you? Do you realize our world has changed? Of course you do. Look at what's happening in our world today. We've been through probably some of the most traumatic, some of the most difficult times in the last few months. But here's the incredible things. The thing that you need to understand is that the worst times is the best times, because that's when you can make your most money. That's when you can make a difference. That's when your life can step over into another level and become more successful. In every down, there's an up. To every up, there is a down. And for many of you sitting there today, I want to inspire you. Now, I am going to move fast. We're going to move solid. And I'm going to actually give you some strategies that help me. How did I go from $50 or $70 a week as a broke youth leader into generating $5.8 million in one weekend, $30 million in 30 days? Now, listen, if a kid like me can do it, you can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm here today and I'm not one of these guys that's so great on all this computer stuff. You know what? I have people here that help me do what I do, but I know that one thing inside of me, I want to make a difference to people. I want to change people's lives, and I want to make a shed load of money at the same time. Now, how many of you out there today, how many of you listening to my voice want to make a difference and change your world and, listen to me, make a shed load of money while you're doing it? Give me a yes in that chat room. Just give me one yes, because let me tell you something. If you engage with me, I know that your life can go to another level. If you engage with me, I know that your life can change and shift. Now, there are 3 things we need. Listen to me very carefully. And by the way, I'm not going to be doing death by PowerPoint. I want to speak with you and engage with you heart to heart, mind to mind, and soul to soul. 3 things we need if we're going to be effective in creating great wealth. Number 1, we need to make a decision. Have you made a decision? Have you made a decision that you want to create wealth? You see, decisions decide destinies. Decisions decide destiny. If you don't make up your mind, your unmade up mind will make itself up for you. If you don't make up your mind, here's what's going to happen. Other people will make up their mind for you. Your decisions, and there are some things you can't decide. For example, I did not decide my height. I would have liked to have been taller than what I am right now. This chair helps me sit up a little bit better, but I did not choose my height. Matter of fact, I did not choose my name. My real name by my dad is called Pasquale. It sounds like a disease. Number 3, listen to me very carefully. I did not choose where I was going to be born: male, female, Caucasian, black, white, Asian, African American. I did not choose any of those things, but here's what I can choose. I can choose how to live. And if you decide right now that you've had enough of the rat race, enough of being part of the cartel system or the banking system that I call it, if you want to be financially free, if you want to be financially independent, if you want to go to another level, you're in the right place at the right time. The second thing you need, watch this, not only do you need a decision, number 2, you need a desire. Folks, let me give you something shocking. Let me give you a thought that may shock you. Not everybody desires to become wealthy. Some people want to live in the state of comfort. Some people want to live in the state of just middle. Listen, I don't want to be in the middle of anything. I don't want to be lukewarm or tepid. And let me tell you, desire is something that is fueled by your passion. Just 2 weeks ago, I had the great opportunity of interviewing Robert Kiyosaki. And many years ago, we toured South Africa. And when we were touring South Africa, Mike and I, is about 20 years ago, actually, Mike and I, I'm thinking of Mike out there in the back room. Robert and I were sitting there in the back room, in the green room, and I went up and spoke. And Robert gets up and says, "I'm going to speak about this guy here," and he points directly at me. He said, "I want to speak about passion." What is passion? Passion is something you love and something you hate, and the tension in between the two. Let me ask you: are you passionate to create wealth? Or are you just, well, you know, if it happens, whatever will be, will be. Let me tell you something, that Doris Day mentality is going to kill your financial wealth and going to kill your financial freedom and going to kill your destiny. You must have a passionate desire. Passion is something you love and something you hate, and the tension in between the two. Ladies and gentlemen, for many years, I was the director of a drug program called Teen Challenge. I graduated over 400 young men with an 86% success rate. 400 young men with an 86% success rate. I graduated guys who were on heroin, cocaine, amphetamine, crack addictions with an 86% success rate, and I never took 1 cent of government money. I raised all the money myself. How did those boys become financially free? And how did, out of those 400 of those boys, 50 of them become millionaires? Let me tell you, number one, they made a decision that life was not going to be an addiction anymore. Number two, they got a desire that they wanted to change. Number three, here's the key, they got a dream. What's your dream? Listen, if you don't have a dream for your life, somebody else will. If you don't have a dream, you're going to end up living a nightmare. The most compelling thing in your life is a capacity to dream. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I was a youth leader earning about $50 to $70, $50 US a week, $70 Australian. I remember at that time I went to one of the heads of the board of deacons at my church, and I said, "Hey brother, can I have an extra $5 just to give my little girl some piano lessons?" I remember this big guy, he was quite massive and multi-millionaire, by the way, with a mahogany desk, big fat leather chair, and he leaned back and he says, "You want an extra $5?" And I said, "Yes, brother. Could you give me an extra $5 a week so that I could give my little girl piano lessons, just like your kids have got music lessons?" He leaned back in his chair, I'll never forget it, sat back like this, and he said, "Pat, absolutely not." He said, "You chose this vocation in life to be a minister," and at that time I was, "and with that vocation comes a lot of limitations." He said, "The answer is no." I could smell the leather of his chair. I could see the shiny mahogany desk. I could see the sports cars in the garage. All I wanted was an extra $5. I said, "Sir, I want you to take the $50 that you give me, and I want you to shove that where the sun don't shine. If I got to believe for an extra $5, I'll believe for a whole $55. And that's the day, like Robert Kiyosaki said, I got passionate. I got passionate to create my own wealth, but I couldn't do it of my own. You see, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about myself. English was my second language. I got 0.7% out of 100 in a maths exam because I got my name right. Now listen to me. At that time, folks, I was actually the vice captain of my rugby league team. That's called the Salter. Many of you other nations who don't know what rugby league is, a very big contact sport. And my high school sports teacher said to me, "Pat, if you don't pass this exam, if you don't pass the next maths test, you can't play football." Well, I wanted to play. He said, "You got 0.7% out of 100 in the last exam." And being a good Catholic school, this guy gave me the answers. He said, "I'm the head of the sports department. I've been running this thing for 20 odd years, and I'm not going to let you make me fail." So he gave me the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very carefully. With the answers, I got 27% out of 100. You see, I'm what they call ADD. I answered the second question with the first answers. At the end of the exam, I was like left over with answers. And here's the thing. I never let my education get in the way of my wealth. I never let my ability, that English was my second language, to write 9 bestsellers. I never let my limitations from being raised by 2 alcoholic parents limit me in what I can do. See, the only limitations you place are the ones inside your head. That's why it's important. Listen to me. Work with me here. You've got to shift this. Come on, come on. Shift this. Listen to me. Shift this. The same level of thinking that got you where you are now won't get you where you need to go. See, money is not your biggest problem. Your thinking is your biggest problem. Your limitations are set by your mindset. Listen, if all it was to money, listen to me very carefully, is to earn it, make it, save it, we'd all be rich and skinny. But there's more to money than money. It's how you think. See, we are not taught in Australia, America, or New Zealand, or the UK to think prosperously. What are we taught? We want everybody to rise to the middle. And boy, if you get on top, we're going to drag you down. We're going to criticize you. We're going to find fault in you. Oh, look at that guy. He's rich, but he's miserable. Hey, folks, I know people that are broke and they're miserable. Now, if you've got a choice between rich and miserable and broke and miserable, choose rich. Come on, how many of you out there want to say, Pat, I choose rich? Write rich in that chat room right now. Because if I can see you interact with me, I know I've got the right crowd. Come on, thank you, thank you. Write that down, rich. You see, ladies and gentlemen, for some reason, the human psyche, because of its narrative in its head, has made words like rich and prosperity and abundance. We've brought them down to here, yet it's the very thing we want. Rich. Now, rich is interpreted according to where you are in life. You see, one man's ceiling is another man's floor. One man's ceiling is another man's floor. You've got to determine what you want. How did I go from $50 to 5.8 million? Well, here's the thing. I had a dream. I made my decision. I needed desire. Listen to me very carefully. But I didn't have a mentor. Wealth happens at the speed of mentorship. At the end of my talk, I'm going to give you an opportunity for me to mentor you. I have a goal to raise 10,000 millionaires in my lifetime. Every 60 seconds, someone becomes a millionaire. Why not you? By the end of my presentation, there'll be another 75 millionaires on the planet. Why not you? Well, do you have the dream? Do you have the decision? Have you got the desire? Here's the thing. Many of us aren't mentored. Many of us don't have someone that will walk with us, hold our hand, and show us what's good, show us what's ugly, show us some strategies, give us associations. In a moment, I'm going to share with you my 5. Listen to me, 5. I don't use slides, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get to slides later. I want to speak heart to heart, mind to mind, spirit to spirit, because that's where the wealth is. Listen to me very carefully. Come closer to the camera. Everything you need is locked inside the heart of a mentor. You need to access the door of a mentor's mind. We need to act. People say, well, Pat, I want to be mentored. Really? We shall see. We'll see. You see, we've got to get our words to match our mind and our heart. I went to a seminar when I was about 21 years of age. I was broke. I was struggling. I knew my limitations. I came from a family of alcoholics. I came from a family where English, they were migrants from Italy. My dad was what they called a contadino, which was a peasant farmer. My mum couldn't speak English, couldn't read and write any language at all. So they'd call her an analphabet, which means an ignorant. And that's what I was raised in. A mum who was ignorant, dad who was an alcoholic, and mum wasn't too far behind in the alcohol either. I knew my limitations. I knew that I wasn't smart like other kids. I knew I had learning disabilities. But one thing I could do, guys, I could follow an instruction. And here's the problem. Many of us listen to instruction. We don't follow instruction. Do you know what mentorship is? Following instruction. Following instruction. I had to find a mentor. So I walk into a seminar. I walk right in the front row. Now, I'm an ex-gang guy, so I went and sat down in the VIP section. I thought VIP meant very important, Pat. So I plunked my butt right in the front row. No one was going to ask me to move, man. I had one of those looks, and some people say I still have those looks without my glasses on. I sat right in the front row, ex-gang member, but as youth leader, sat right in the front row, and I heard a man speak. Man, when this guy spoke, it was like Moses had parted the Red Sea. The wisdom that came out of his mouth. At 25 years of age, this guy was a bankrupt bricklayer. He told a story like no one had told. He spoke about what makes the great great. At the end of his presentation, he held up a pack called Destiny. I looked at that pack. Now remember, I'm on $50 a week. This man did not mention the price. This man did not mention anything on stage except he had this Destiny pack. Now, I knew that I needed what was in that man's head. I knew I needed what was in his head. I knew I needed what was in his mind. Man, when he promoted that product, I ran. I would have beat Usain Bolt in a 100-meter dash, folks. I ran to the back of that room, and I looked at that lady. I said, I have a destiny. She said, son, destiny's not your problem. Preparation for it is. See, many of you have got a destiny. You know you've got a destiny. You know there's more than inside of you than what there is right now. You know there's a millionaire sitting inside of you. You know that there's more financial. You want more for yourself, for your children. Do you realize, listen to me, every one of you is an asset-making machine. I want to turn you into an asset-making machine. I want to turn you into a flesh and blood ATM where you are producing wealth, where you can create multiple streams of income. Guys, most of my colleagues on these Click Seminars, they're going to show you online marketing, offline marketing, Facebook pages, YouTube, and they're all great. But I want to show you how you can build a business in a day. Over the last 2 months, I have helped people all over the world, random strangers. I will show you their photos. I will show you their stories. 2 of them, not even in my country, in the United Kingdom, 2 of them, random strangers, pick them out of a hat and build 2 multi-million-dollar businesses in one day. How many of you would like me to build a business in a day? Write down the number 1. Come on, give me a 1 in that chat room. If you would like me to help you build a business, a multi-million-dollar business, not in 6 months, not in a year, one day, I'm going to help you do that. But I need you, ladies and gentlemen, to understand that you've got to follow instruction. Do you know, I listened to that. I went and bought that product from Mr. Peter J. Daniels, $1,500 US. $1,500. That was my entire year's salary at that time. I didn't waver. I didn't have $1,500, but I had a credit card. And for many of you, your credit card has become the thing that has bound you up financially rather than the thing that has released you. Why don't you use your credit card as an antidote against your poverty, antidote against your broke mindset, antidote against the things that are holding you back? Use it as an inoculator. You know, if you're going to get a malaria shot, you know what they give you? They give you a little bit of malaria to inoculate you against the malaria. But many of us have used our credit cards to bind us. We buy TVs and crap we don't need. Let me tell you something. Invest in a financial future. Invest that credit card, your cash, into something that's going to build for the future. Listen to me. If you don't have enough to build the empire that you need, use what you have as a seed. Use what you have as a seed. You see, a seed never grown is a seed never sown. You can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in an apple seed. Take what you had. I took what I had, ladies and gentlemen. I went and bought that $1,500 product. Now, I'm only on 3,500 Australian a week, $1,500 US. At that time, the dollar was 2 to 1. I had my big Destiny pack. At that time, I was living in my mother-in-law's caravan in my mother-in-law's driveway, married to a Sicilian. Now, you know this story's not going to end very well. I took that pack. I was so excited. I went home. Now I've got to explain it. You see, I know what it's like for some of you. You go to a seminar, you got all those negatives, picking thumbs, sucking whiners, saying, another seminar, all they want is money, all these get rich quicks. Let me tell you something. You want to get rich quick? I'm not your guy. I don't do get rich quick. Let me tell you what I do. I do get rich through a process. And that's the problem, guys. Many of us don't have a process. What is the process? What is your strategy? Many of us are like Bruce Springsteen in that song, Everybody's Got a Hungry Heart. He said, like a river that I don't know where it's going. I took a wrong turn and I just kept going. So you go to this seminar and that guru and this guru, and you are more confused than a termite in a yo-yo. Listen to me. Sometimes we've got to get that the stream we drink from is a stream that comes out of us. What stream, what strategy are you drinking from? You've got to get the stream right. Otherwise, the water is going to be putrid. You've got to get the stream right, folks. You've got to get the right kind of stream. And listen to me, for my desire for you is that you build multiple streams of income, ladies and gentlemen, not just one. I went and bought that program. I went home and explained that to my mother-in-law. How much you pay for that? Man, I freaked out. I didn't even answer. I had to go to my then wife and explain to her why I just paid an entire year's salary for a box of 6 cassettes and 6 videotapes. I'll never forget the look on her face when I told her what I did. She said, "How could you do this to us?" I said, "Liz, if you just let me learn." Do you have an ability to learn? Do you have an ability to follow instruction, to lean in? You see, I can't change your life until I change the feet that you sit at. What do I mean by that? The ancients used to sit at the feet of the masters like Plato, like Aristotle. They would sit at their feet. The protege would sit at their feet. See, many of us, we don't want to sit at anyone's feet. We think we can be self-made millionaires and get out there and Google it. Let me tell you, wealth happens at the speed of mentorship. Well, I got that pack. 18 months later, I owned my first home at 28 Jacob Street, Bankstown, Freehold. Within 2 years, listen to me very carefully, within 2 years after what Mr. Peter J. Daniels taught me, I launched my first instructional cassette and generated $250,000. A quarter? How did I go from $50 to $250,000? You see, that one tape, that one learning, that one educational material, ladies and gentlemen, that I got changed my destiny. You see, that one tape caused me to sell over $250,000. Now, here are my 5 strategies. Listen to me very carefully. 5, count them. 5 things that you need to understand to build your wealth. If you want to create great wealth, give me a 5 in that chat room. Come on, give me a 5. I just need 1 5, and I know I'm in the right thing. Number 1, you got to change your money story. You see, money talks. Generally, it says goodbye. Money talks. What's it saying to you? You don't deserve me. It's hard to come by. You've always been on struggle street. It's easy for the next guy. Look at that rich guy over there. Look at that guy over there. Is money talking envy? Is money talking lack? What is money saying to you? Listen, if you don't discover your money story, you'll never be able to change your money language. I was in Hamilton, New Zealand, talking to a group of realtors in Century 21 Real Estate. One guy said to me, "Pat, I just can't seem to break the $80,000 a year barrier." I said, "Barry, why is that?" He said, "I don't know, man. It seems like I get to $80,000 and boom, my life falls apart." I said, "What did your parents teach you about money?" He said, "My parents taught me nothing about money." He said, 3 things we never talked about: money, religion, and politics. Now, as soon as he said that, I knew, ladies and gentlemen, that they were the 3 things that they talked about all the time. You see, you will either learn, watch this, directly, or you will learn inadvertently. If I'm going to sink a ship, putting a big gaping hole in it is going to be obvious. But if I can put a little pinhole in there and let one drop in one by one, I can sink that entire ship and almost go unnoticed. Ladies and gentlemen, as I began to share with this guy, I said, "Well, tell me about your parents." And he shared with me how his dad would see someone with a brand new BMW and say, "Look at that rich bastard over there. We're not like that guy. He's ripping people off." And he just told me a few minutes ago, his dad taught him nothing about money. He said, "You know, my mum had a brother, and he used to do cladding around homes, and he would earn about $75,000, $80,000 a year. And my mother would say to me, 'My brother's greedy. My brother's full of avarice. See, that guy, he's making too much money for a family of 4. I looked at him, I said, "Barry, you just told me your parents taught you nothing about money." He said, "Pat, they didn't." I said, "Oh, yeah, they did. Your dad taught you drive a nice car, you're ripping people off. Your mum taught you make 80 grand, 70 grand, you're full of greed, you're full of avarice." He burst into tears and he said, "I never saw it." And many of us, we can't see the money talk inside our head. We can't see that culture, religion. Come on, you go to church and the minister starts doing this. "Money is the root of all evil." And then he passes the plate around. The good book does not say that money is the root of all evil. The good good book says that money, the love of money, is the root of all evil. Matter of fact, 2,365 times in the scriptures, God says he wants to bless you, increase, and prosper you. Over 365 times in the good book, he says, do not fear. Let me tell you something. You better be careful when you start quoting the good book, because I know that thing. And let me tell you something. God ain't broke. Why would you? I'm an almighty being, creator of heavens and the earth, that loves all humanity, want people struggling, hurting, bleeding, and suffering. I don't think so. You see, that's what religion has taught you. That's what culture has taught you. Our Western culture has taught us that to increase, watch this, we must be doing something wrong. That was what the problem was with Barry. We flipped his mindset. He became one of the #1 realtors in all of New Zealand. You see, money talks. Money talks. What is money saying to you? What is the language inside your head? For me, as a child, I had a certain money talk because, see, let me tell you something. Who is the person that has influenced you the most? Listen to me. The person that hurt you the most. Who hurt you when it came to money? Who put ideas, concepts, and stuff inside your head that is wrong? You got to change that narrative. You got to change that money talk. Has culture, has religion, has your job done it? You know, when I was a little boy, I wanted to play football. My parents were so paranoid. So I would sneak out on a Saturday and I would go and play my little heart out. My sports education teacher would bring a jersey and would bring me some shoes that I would wear so I could play football. And I remember one day I won best and fairest and I got a trophy. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do with this trophy? How do I bring it home? I'm busted. I took the trophy home. I showed my dad. My dad grabbed that trophy, took it off me, walked down the back, and we used to have a fountain at the back. He took this aluminium steel tin of a lid from a garbage can and smashed it through the hole in the fountain, or through the hose in the fountain, concreted it, put my trophy there, never asked me. Didn't ask me whether I could have it. Didn't ask me or say, well done. He just took it. It made me feel like nothing's ever going to be mine. You're not going to be celebrated. When I became 13 years of age, my dad threw a birthday party and invited all of his friends. He bought me a beautiful pen. He said, if you lose this pen, I will beat you within an inch of your life. Here's that money story again. I'm 13 years of age. Is it my birthday party? No, it's his for his friends. Was it my pen? No, when he gave me that pen, it came with a threat. That was never my pen. And all of a sudden in my life, I began this narrative. I can never own stuff. I'll never be celebrated. I had to work on that, guys. Now I own stuff. I love to own stuff. Unlike Conrad Hilton, when he was a bellboy and he decided, I'm going to own one of these things. You've got to change your money story. Number 2, watch this. Second thing, you cannot have $1 million income with a $5 mindset. You cannot have $1 million income with a $5 mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to understand that your mind will either build you a prison or a palace. Everything you need is locked within the confines of your mind. Do you think a Richard Branson thinks differently to everybody else? Do you think our wonderful host, Tom Hua, this guy, multi-millionaire, one of the smartest, sharpest minds on the planet, do you think he thinks different to the average person? Of course he does. He thinks different. He talks different. He bursts things differently. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to change your mind, you've got to change your atmosphere. What atmosphere surrounds you? When I had my drug rehabilitation center, I had to change the atmosphere around those boys' lives. I had to change their atmosphere. Atmosphere is determined by the people around you. Atmosphere is determined by your input. Atmosphere is determined by the culture of your mind. Are you feeding this mind? Listen, are you building a prison or a palace with your mindset? You see, your mind, people say, oh, Pat, I got that multi-million-dollar mindset. Really? Let's count. Let's count. The late, great Jim Rohn, who mentored me for many years, when people say, I'm okay, he say, let's count. Let's count. You see, it's not about being positive. It's not about being rah-rah. You got to think like a millionaire. You got to shift this thinking. You got to be different to the middle. You see, the broke, you know what the broke thing? The broke thinks survival. You know what the middle thinks? Comfort. You know what the wealth creator thinks? Freedom. You got to value freedom. And unless you value freedom, financial freedom, not being a slave to the grind, you see, do you run your business like a business, or do you run it like, hang on, hang on. Many of you out there right now, you've been to more seminars, you've attended more stuff from gurus, thinking that the guru is going to change your life. The guru will not change your life. The implementation of what the guru says changes your life. And by the way, I hate that word guru. It's the implementation. It's not that the product you bought doesn't work. You don't work. Your mind is not engaged. Your mind is not pursuing. Your mind is not passive. I have students. I've got students that have generated in the last several months $130,000 in 90 minutes. You see, they implemented. The big thing is implementation. Is your mind geared for implementation? Is your mind geared to activate change? Mindset, well, I can't afford it. Figure out how. Figure out how. Several years ago, I was at a conference speaking, and a guy came up to me and goes, "Oh, Mr. Mesiti, I love your stuff. I love your stuff. My mate George got your program, sir. Changed his life financially in 21 days. Boom, shakalaka, changed his life." This guy was a real estate agent. In those days, I was doing a lot of functions for real estate agents. He hadn't sold or listed a product, or a property in 18 months. That is a disaster for any real estate agent. But George got my program. 21 days changed his life. He went and signed a deal at Brisbane South Bank. $12 million deal. 12 million. From nothing to 12 million in sales. Well, he got his commission out of that. This guy saying, "Mr. Mesiti, my mate George," and he's smoking a cigarette. "Man, I love your stuff, man, love your stuff. Change his life, man, change his life." I looked at this incredible mystery of life. I said, "Are you going to buy my product to change George's life? You've seen it. Are you going to get it?" He goes, "Oh, no, I can't afford it," smoking on his cigarette. A few hours later, we're out there and we're about to have a drink at the bar, and there's this guy at the bar drinking, smoking. Now he's doing this and doing this, because this is how he's going to build his wealth, right? Then after a few drinks, he's at the slot machine. We call them poker machines here, because they built the casino, which is where the event was, for you to get rich. They built the casino for you to get rich. They built Lotto for you to get rich. Seriously? Now he's smoking, drinking, and betting. The next day comes up and says, "Mr. Mesiti, I love your stuff. Oh, man, changed my mate George's life." I said, "Son, are you going to get the product or not?" He said, "No, sir, I can't afford it." I said, "Let's do some math." I said, "How many of those things you stick in your mouth every day?" He said, "A packet, sometimes two, depending on my stress levels." In those days, cigarettes were $20 a packet. That's $7,300 a year up in smoke. I said, "How much you spend on alcohol?" I said, "Probably another 7,000. He goes, "Well, yeah." Well, there's now 14,600. I said, "How much you spend on gambling?" Let's give it $2,000. Now he's got $16,600 gone on a $50,000 a year base income. I said, "Son, my program back then was $3,997. I said, deduct that from the $16,000 you're wasting your life on. You're left with $12,000 to continue to sabotage your life." Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Listen to me. They say, "Oh, I can't afford, I can't afford." Is it an issue of affordability or an issue of bad priorities? Listen to me. Number one, you've got to change your money story. Number two, you've got to understand you can't have $1 million income with a $5 mindset. Here it is. You've got to change your priorities. If you want to create wealth, you've got to change your priorities. For me, over the last few years, I've been able to give $1.5 million to charity. Just a few months ago, we raised $86,000 for charity. You see, there's 5 people I can't help, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, listen to me very carefully. I cannot help the person who doesn't think they've got a problem. Listen, if you're not creating great wealth, I want to turn what you've got, your knowledge. Many of you have got knowledge, ideas, and thoughts. Many of you are sitting on information. For many of you, you're over your 40s and your 50s, and most people would throw you in the scrap heap of life. You are a wealth of information. If you're a mechanic, a plumber, a gardener, I don't care what industry you're in. Right now, I've worked with over 68 niches in helping people create wealth and financial freedom. Listen to me. You've got so much information. What I've got to do is put your information in the right market and you can create a fortune. Well, who would want to hear my story? Who would want to hear my knowledge? Everybody. You can't say the wrong thing to the right market. You can't say the wrong thing to the right market. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to turn you into an asset-making machine. I want to help you build a business. How many of you would like a business like Tom's got, like I've got? How many of you would like a business like many of my colleagues here? Ladies and gentlemen, we can build a business in a day. We know how to build a business in a day, but what I need you to do is change your priorities. The 5 people I can't help. Number 1, I can't help the person who doesn't think they've got a problem. Number 2, I can't help the person who thinks that I'm the problem. Well, the reason I'm not prospering is because you. No. I can't help you. Number 3, I can't help the person that wants me to engage emotionally with them, but they don't want a physical outcome. They want sympathy. Can you help me? Buddy, can you spare me a dime? I can't help you. Number 4, I can't help the person that wants me to invest time, effort, energy, and money into their problem, but they don't want to do the same. You've got to change from being this to being this. You've got to be an investor. And number 5, here's the person I can't change. The person that doesn't have a clear vision of what they want. What do you want? If you don't know what you want, listen to me. If you don't know what you want, how many of you would like to build at least a $500,000 a year business residual income? How do we do that? We can do that in a day. We can help you do that in a day. You don't need months and months and months and months and months and months of training. We can do this in a day. We can launch you in a day. How do I know? We've already been doing it, ladies and gentlemen. Third thing we need to have right associations. Listen to me. Number 1, you've got to change your money narrative. Number 2, you can't have $1 million income with a $5 mindset. Therefore, change your priorities. Number 3, you've got to change your associations. Listen, it's not what you know, it's who you know. The 3 things I can give you, ladies and gentlemen, to help build your wealth. Listen, you're going to get a lot of online strategies here. By the way, we will give you online strategy, but right now I've got to work on your headspace. Right now, this is what's stopping you, not clicking, not that. You're not going to make money just by clicking a button. You can be online and be off track. I know many people that go to, and I'm for it, guys. I'm here at the invitation of my great friend Tom Wine and his whole team. He's a great online marketer. I believe in online, but you can be online and be off track. You can be online and be off track. Oh, Tom, your program doesn't work. Oh, Dave. No, you're not working. We've got to work this headspace of yours. Third thing, your associations. Your associations. Let me ask you, do you have a connector? Do you have a navigator? Do you have a networker? Do you have a mind opener? Do you have an energizer? Do you have a wealth mentor? Do you have someone that can champion your cause? If you don't, you're in trouble. I want to do all of that for you. Why would you do that? Because I got a goal to raise 10,000 millionaires in my lifetime. I'm looking for my next 10 millionaires this year. Where are you? Are you one of them? If you're one of them, just put the word me. Put the word me in that chat room. See, if you want it, you've got to go after it. Hope, wishing, and praying is not a financial strategy, and I'll get to that in a minute. Hope, wishing, and praying is not a financial strategy. Being a good person doesn't qualify you. Listen to me. Money does not know the difference between a priest or a pornographer, and sometimes it's the same guy. Money is not a respecter of people. Listen to me very carefully. You could be a nice person, have all the good intentions, but you've got to get right associations in your life. What have your friends got you thinking? What have they got you going? What have they got you buying? What are they seeding into your mind that's giving you a harvest of financial problem? You see, guys, many of us are not associating and getting up close and personal. You see, guys, your associations will either bring you up or pull you down. Have you quarantined your mind from the viruses of other people? Have you quarantined your mind and say, I'm listening to this voice? Let me tell you something. You don't need lots of voices in your head. You only need one. I only needed one. Mr. Daniels changed my life. And every time I've had pivotal changes financially, listen to me, it came from one mentor at a time. Multitude of counsels are going to confuse you. I'm not an expert in a lot of areas, but let me tell you what I'm an expert in. You ready for it? I create millionaires. I don't create online marketers. Listen to me very carefully. Lean in. I don't create online marketers. I create millionaires. Matter of fact, my great student, Glenn Twiddle, who you'll see slide later on, says I've created more first-generation millionaires in this country than anybody else. That's a huge weight on my shoulders, a huge responsibility, and believe me, it's not an ego boost, it's humbling. And you say, Pat, you're very forthright, you're very strong. Someone needs to be strong in your life. Someone needs to push you. Come on, when you go to a personal trainer, he's not there going, oh, my darling, no, let's push ups. No, oh, don't hurt yourself. No, they push you. They push you. They push you because they know what's inside of you. You see, I see a millionaire inside many of you. And listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Just like Michelangelo, when he looked at that big marble rock, 12 or 11 other sculptors says it's just a big, ugly rock. What did Michelangelo see? Michelangelo saw David. And I see a David inside many of you. Now, I can't see you physically, but I can see you through my heart. I can see you through my soul. You've got to change your associations, guys. You see, every time in my life where I've created great wealth, it's been through associations with the likes of the Tom Hyers, associating with the likes of Jason Bockner, who's going to come on later on and share with you some incredible strategies. Associations like the David Kavanaghs and the Armin Morans and some of the great presenters and the Joe Dodds and so many others that are out there. Your associations will equal your assimilations. Listen to me. The prophecy of your life is linked to those that are the closest to you. What's your life looking at? If you could look down the tunnel, look into the future. You say, Pat, I can't look into my future. Yes, you can. How? Look at who's around you. I would say to my boys in my drug rehabilitation, I can predict your future by the company of fellows you're hanging around with. Come on, the quality of your wealth is linked to the 6 closest friends. How many of you are in deep trouble? See, 3 things I can give you guys. Listen to me very carefully. Number 1, I can give you great strategies, and I will. Number 2, I can give you incredible knowledge, and we will. Number 3, you know what I can bring you? Associations. Do you want JVs? Look no further. Almost every single international promoter I've either helped in life, business, or in their area. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. My great friend Stephen Esser says, there's 8 degrees of separation or the 1 degree of Pat. One of my students said, Pat, I want to get to Richard Branson. No problem. Pat, I want to get to Arnold Schwarzenegger. No problem. Over the years, ladies and gentlemen, it's the associations. It is not what you know, it's who you know. Connectors. You need a connector. You need a connector. You need a navigator. You need a networker. You need a mind up. You need an energizer. You need a champion. You see, the most valuable asset that I can bring you is connections, ladies and gentlemen. It's the connections that will connect you. Listen, mentors, and I'll get to that in a second, mentors need to give you 3 things: access to principles, access to profit, and access to people. They don't give you those 3, they're not a mentor. They don't just give you access to stuff and books that you buy. Come on, give me a break. If you're going to be a mentor, you've got to do those 3 things. That's why people in my world exponentially grow financially. You see, how many of you understand? You lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. When I worked in my drug rehabilitation center, the biggest challenge I had was not getting the boys off heroin and cocaine and marijuana. It was changing their associations that create the environments of your mind. You need to link with a mentor. You need to link with someone who's been where you're going to go with. Don't invest in a mentor that is not gone where you want to go. Listen to me. Are you listening? Listen to me. Never follow an unscarred general. Don't do it. You got to follow people that have been there, done that, willing to show you their wins, their failures. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the 4th thing, come on. Number 1, you've got to change your money narrative. Number 2, you can't have $1 million income with a $5 mindset, so change your priorities. Number 3, you got to change the quality of your associations. Come on, work with me. Are you still with me? Number 4, get a strategy. What's the best strategy you know, Pat? Property? Yep. Forex? Yep. Share trading? Yep. Amazon? Yep. Pat, you're saying yes to all of them. That's right. They're all great strategies. Let me tell you the greatest strategy I know. You ready for it? You. Have you learned to monetize you? Your knowledge. You have knowledge. I don't care whether you're a barber, veterinarian. One of my friends, Stephen, my business partner, multi-million-dollar business he created for veterinarians. You may be a dog groomer. I don't care what your expertise is. You may be a network marketer or a real estate agent. You may be a voiceover person. You may be an actor, a speaker, a coach. You might be a philanthropist, whatever the word is, philanthropic. It's a big word, isn't it? What's an area that you've got knowledge on? Engineering, doctors, healing, medicine, spirituality. Your strategy is you. You are your greatest asset. How do you think my great friend Tom Bois has built an empire? He's just made his money from what he knows. Jason Boltner later, David Carradine, Armand Morin, some of the legends you're going to hear on Click Seminars, all of them are geniuses. They just monetize what they know. Why are you not doing the same? Why haven't I had a chance? Well, here's your chance. How about we turn you into an asset-making machine? How about we turn you into someone that can watch this, do something once and get paid 12 times? Ladies and gentlemen, see, your story, your narrative, your knowledge gives you credibility, your pain makes you relatable, and your learnings give you cash. Your story, your knowledge, whatever it is, gives you credibility. You don't need someone else's story. You need your story. You don't need someone else's credibility. You got your own credibility. Pat, I'm not an expert. You've not been positioned. An expert is just someone who knows something more than someone else. For example, this morning, my nephew Jonathan was here helping me set up. I got no idea how to plug in stuff and do this and do that. I have no idea. I don't need to know. I bring in an expert. You are an expert. Some of you know something about Mesiti, spirituality, nutrition, health. Nutrition, I'm Italian. Give me a break. Come on, that's supposed to be funny people. Some of you have knowledge in areas of grandparenting, parenting. You are an asset-making machine. Some of you have got passions that you've never turned into a profit. You've got desires that you've never turned into a profit. This is your moment. There's never been a better time than now. What have you been doing in the last 3 months of the lockdown? Crying the blues, waiting for a handout? I've had my best 3 months ever. Helping people make money. You're going to see some of them later. You've all got knowledge. I want to show you how to sell, how to profit, how to package, how to do JV, how to become a mentor, how to start at a low price point and build a $10, $20, $30, $50,000 client. Do you deserve this? Absolutely. Can you do this? Yes. But you can't do it on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. You try this on your own, you could lose a shirt off your back. We all need someone to help us strategize. 5.8 million in 1 weekend. I just didn't do that by myself. I didn't have $5.8 million worth of knowledge, but I learned how to JV. I learned how to leverage from other people's knowledge. Matter of fact, I remember Tom Bois was one of the first speakers I ever had at one of my events. I'll never forget it. We were there. 5.8 million in 1 weekend, 30 million in 30 days. Ladies and gentlemen, you can learn how to JV. No one's going to JV with you just because you're cute. Come on. Just because you say, would you JV with me? What are you bringing to the table? Have you learned to negotiate what you're bringing to the table? Have you learned how to bring something small to the table to the man that's got a bigger list than you? Have you learned that? Or are you just going to go, will you JV with me? Because I got to go. No one cares. Come on, guys. Let's get real here. We're here to make money. And if you're going to JV with someone like me, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to bring to the table? Now, I know there's something you can bring to the table. See, when I act in the role as a promoter, listen to me very carefully, I need what you have. I don't have your knowledge. Would I JV with you? Well, I only JV with 2 people. Number 1, the best in the world. Number 2, my students. I ain't got time to JV with everybody. Listen, people say, well, that's not fair. Well, let me put it to you this way. Do you think I would treat my children better than I would treat your children if they asked me for something? Of course I would. You would treat your children better than my children. Now, I've got to work with people that I'm associated with, best in the world, and my students. I would love to mentor you. I would love to teach you, which is my 5th point, ladies and gentlemen. Several years ago, I was in London. Tom, I'm sure you were there as well. And my great friend Brett McFall was speaking. Great guy, legend in the business. And a young guy came to the back of the green room. There were 6,000 or 7,000 people there. And he said, Mr. Mesiti, I'd like to speak at one of your seminars one day. I said, would you really, son? He goes, yeah. And he told me this joke. He was a little bit off color, and I kind of laughed. And I was there with my road manager at the time. And my road manager looked at him and said, well, what have you done, son? He goes, oh, I've got a program, buddy, on webinars. I do webinars. I didn't even know what a webinar was. Now it's basically my bread and butter. Actually, nice bread and nice butter I've got to add. Webinars. I said, have you done any webinars? He says, yeah, I did one for my church. I thought, I said, where do you live? He says, I live in Smithfield. I'm a panel beater. I went, this guy's going to change the world. I said, well, just send me a talk. And my friend condescendingly just dismissed him. I shook hands with him. We watched some football together. This guy now owns 50% of my business. His name is Stephen Esser. Yeah, Stephen Esser engaged with me in a mentor's role. Now he's a 50% business owner of my business. He went from panel beater to online global sensation, all because, ladies and gentlemen, he engaged with a mentor. You see, listen to me very carefully. Every single one of you is going to die. Pat, this is supposed to be a motivational seminar. Yeah, listen to me. And around your bed will be the ghost of every single book you didn't write, every seminar you didn't give, every workshop you didn't teach, every podcast you didn't make, every lesson you didn't give, all that knowledge you didn't share. And around that bed, not only will be your relatives hoping that you left them something, there'll be the ghost of every single seminar, book, podcast, lesson that you didn't create, and they're screaming at you. When you die, we go with you. No, your internet hasn't frozen. How much more pain do you need to feel before you change something? How much more? But Pat, I'm looking for the latest whiz bang. This is the whiz bang. The money's inside of you. The money's inside your knowledge. You need a mentor. You need someone that will mentor you, because listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. We can't change our mindset on our own. We don't have the associations we need. We can't shift our thinking on our own. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a secret to creating wealth. Nobody gets rich alone. No one. I'm a self-made man. You're poorly made one. And some of you are waiting for the latest panacea, the latest little blue pill or whatever it is you're going to take. Oh, I grab onto this, and I'm going to grab onto Facebook. I'm going to grab onto money on YouTube. We're going to grab. Listen, all of these strategies are amazing. But you've got to get mentored in this area of being a millionaire. I don't care what your industry is, what your passion is. You've got to be mentored. You see, a mentor will give you access to principles, people, and profit. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to be mentored, or do you just want to be taught? Listen to me. Do you want to be taught or trained? Soldiers are trained. You're in the military, you're trained. You're not just taught. Teachers are a dime a dozen. But mentors. Wisdom and wealth happen at the speed of mentorship. What is mentorship? It's wisdom without the weight. It's knowledge with less pain. It's learning through the loss of another. The mentor is the golden key that unlocks the door of wealth. The mentor is the access point to relationship. The mentor is the access point to knowledge. The mentor is the access point to profit. The mentor is not interested in your past. They're interested in your future. You know who's interested in your past and licking all your wounds? Your friends. And how's that working for you? You see, ladies and gentlemen, I want to help mentor you over the course of my life. I've been involved with people like Mike Tyson, Richard Branson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the late great Zig Ziglar, Dennis Waitley, Bob Proctor, some of the legends. They've either mentored me or I've mentored them. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter what something costs. What matters is what price are you willing not to pay. It's the price you're not willing to pay. At the end of my presentation, before some of you click on, I'm not selling you anything. I'm not interested in selling you something. I'm looking for business partners. I'm looking for proteges. Now, here's the thing. Many of you go, oh, here comes the sell. That's why you're broke. I hanged on to Mr. Daniels. I watched everything he did. I watched how he spoke. I watched how he sold. I watched how he promoted. Listen to me. You can't change your life until you change whose voice you choose to believe. I can't change your life until Tom can't change your life. My great friend Armin, David Kavanagh, Jason Butler, they can't change your life until you choose to believe their voice. And once you engage in a mentor, that becomes the change. You see, Mr. Daniels changed my life. Out of that, my first tape, $250,000. He then became my mentor. This man gets paid $250,000 USD every time he opens his mouth, and he generally only goes to people once. He's been there for me my whole life, and 4 occasions spoke for my millionaires personal group. He changed their life. He was a navigator. He was the mind opener. He was the business partner. He was the guy that opened my mind. He's the guy that celebrated. He's the guy that championed my cause. I would like to open your mind. I would like to change your course. I would like to navigate you through the stormy waters of life. And believe me, we're going through some right now. I want to be the one that champions you. That's what a JV does. He champions you. He doesn't just do a little tag there. They champion your course. They get say, hey, this guy's hot. Right now, one of my students right there in the UK, Elspeth Hughes, her life's about to change. I'm about to introduce her globally to many of my promoters. You're going to see her story in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to lean in and learn. I want to turn you into an asset-making machine. You see, if you're willing to change your money narrative, if you're willing to work with different associations I give you, if you're willing to your $5 mentality, listen, if you're willing to get some strategies and help us work on your strategy, let's put your strategy on steroids. If you're willing to work with mentors, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need a product. You are the product. You are the product. Your knowledge is a product. How do you think some of you know great guys like Armin? Armin is the product. Tom is the product. I want you to build outrageous streams of income. Are you tired of the spin? Are you tired of the going up and down like this financially? Are you tired of the financial lid over your life? Are you a good person? Yeah. Are you a caring person? Yeah. Do you have knowledge? Yeah. But have you got a lid? Yeah. How many of you would like me to pop your lid? Now, take it easy out there. How many of you would like to stop the spin? How many of you here would like to generate $500,000 a year working only 30 days? If that's you, give me an almighty yes in the chat. Give me a yes in that chat, because I know we can generate at least $500,000 a year working only 30 days. What's this? A year. You don't need to work more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, slave labor is overrated. You can become either a slave to the cartel, slave to the system, or we can train you to be an asset-making machine. You are an asset-making machine. You are an asset-making machine. I want to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. There is a gap there between where you are and where you want to be. Listen, stop driving vehicles over gaps. Here's what many people do. They go and buy a product. They drive. They've never created a pathway between where they are and where they want to be. They've never created a highway system. They've never created a bridge. I want to help you generate at least $500,000 a year residual income working only 30 days a year. 2.5 days a month. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You see, you don't have a product. We'll help you create a product. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a solution to somebody's problem. You are an answer. Stop praying for money and start seeing yourself as a solution. The moment you see yourself as a solution, your life changes. You see, when you see yourself as a problem, that's where you go. Where you see yourself as lack, that's where you go. But when you see yourself as an asset-making machine, as a solution to someone's problem, you see, you can solve spiritual problems for people. You can solve health problems for people. You can solve relational problems for people. You can solve gardening problems, landscaping problems, online problems, offline problems. You are a solution to somebody's problems, ladies and gentlemen. Do you realize you get paid for the solutions you solve? How do you make this happen? Get out of your own way. The only thing limiting you is your mindset. You are sabotaging yourself. you are blocking you. No, it's not for lack of opportunity. It's not for lack of a mentor. I'm here to mentor you. I'm here to help get rid of those viruses. I'm here to JV with you. I'm here to open up doors of opportunity. Get out of your way. Just give me a yes. Engage. If you decide, listen to me. Decision, desire, and a dream. Have you made a decision? You see, before Mr. Daniels promoted his product, I already decided. Have you decided yet? How many of you would like me to mentor you, strategize with you, JV with you, give you my associations, shift your mindset? You'd be crazy to say no. Ladies and gentlemen, get out of your own way. I'm looking to create millionaires, real people who are willing to learn. And if you know more than me, I can't help you. If you don't want to follow instruction, I can't help you. I'm looking for real people that have gone through real hurts, real struggles, real issues, real pain. Now, pain is relative. Pain is relative. We've all got it to some degree or another, but real people. I'm not looking for someone who hasn't had problems, someone who hasn't had challenges, someone who's not had difficulties and struggles. Every single one of you listening to the sound of my voice, I know you're real. I know by the very nature you've clicked onto this thing that you're a real person, that you want more. You wouldn't be on this seminar if you didn't want more and if you weren't real. I'm looking to create millionaires, any genre, any area. You see, ladies and gentlemen, strategy is mentored. But listen to me, people need guidance and need direction. See, my wealth evolution, my masterclass, trying to say two words at once, your fast track to 500,000 a year or more, working less than 30 days a year. This is your fast track. I'm not looking for a slow train coming, as Bob Dylan said. I'm looking to fast track you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can either learn the slow way or the faster way. Now, I didn't say get rich quick. I said fast track. Big difference. When people say to me, oh, how much? Well, I just set the boundary right there. Not the boundary. I just said 500K a year. How do I know? You're going to see some slides in a minute that actually blow your mind. You see, it starts through mentorship. It starts through changing your mind. It starts through getting rid of that language inside your head. It starts with working with someone with your strategy. Stop trying to copy someone else's strategy. You've got strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, spend one full day with me up close and personal. One day. Listen, God created the world in 7 days. We're going to build your business in one. One full day. Up close and personal. I held up here after a 30-day challenge. And by the way, you see that big eagle back there? That's the Destiny program that I bought that changed my life from Mr. Peter J. Daniels. Elsbeth Hughes. We did a 30K and 30-day challenge. We taught for 30 days. We didn't know who was on there. We didn't know who was online. We opened it up. We had a couple of promoters help us. And we entered into the competition. We had over 250 people apply and send us in their business ideas, and then live online in front of people. That's what we're going to do. Live online in front of people, ladies and gentlemen. Elsbeth Hughes, we chose this lady. She was a sound person that worked in events. When lockdown came in and COVID-19 hit, she lost her job. She had a daughter. She was a single mom. She's crying on the kitchen floor, wondering how she was going to pay the rent. Well, she entered our competition. She had a great little idea. Watch this. Out of 250 people, we chose her. And in one day, built her business. One day. Listen to me. It doesn't take a long time. You got an idea? Let's build it in a day. Ladies and gentlemen, Elsbeth Hughes generated $128,000 in 60 minutes thanks to my system. And by the way, she's done it again just recently, another $40,000 or $60,000, over $180,000, between $160,000 and $180,000 in less than 4 weeks. Watch this, $128,000, $245 actually, in 60 minutes. In 60 minutes, guys. You see, it doesn't take a long time to build great wealth. If we could do it for her, we can do it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jason Cunningham. There I am with my friend and my business partner, Steve Vanessa. Jason Cunningham, We did it again the next month. This time, we did it in half the time. My great friend Simon calls and said, Pat, can you guys do this in 15 days? We launched a 10K challenge. This is Jason after we trained him in a day. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy couldn't even work out how to use a PowerPoint. And with all respect, Jason, in case you're on, he generated £23,259. That's about $50,000, ladies and gentlemen. What's this? In 20 minutes. He didn't even finish his webinar. 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes, 50 grand. Listen to me. That is $2,500 a minute. And we trained him in a day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a once or a twice. We've done it over and over again. How many of you want to live your life in luxury, in peace, and in relaxation? How many of you want to shift in your life that will result in positive change and absolute financial freedom? This is your financial roadmap, an investment into your future. It's 100% up close and personal. Let me tell you something. I am not a distant mentor. It's about changing your financial direction for life. Listen, we're going to mentor you online, but let me tell you something, we're not far away. You see, intimacy is never in kilometers, it's in heart. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to learn the following. Number one, the 12 irrefutable laws of money. Many of you are breaking the laws of money and you don't even realize it. We're going to stop that right now. We're going to stop that in a day. You're going to learn the 8 vital associations. And by the way, I want to be those 8 for you. The connector, the navigator. What's this? The asset creator, the networker, the champion. I want to be those 8 for you, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to learn how to monetize you. You are your greatest asset. You are the greatest asset. You've got knowledge, you've got ideas, you've got concepts. Let's turn them into gold. You might think they're shite. We make expertise out of turning shite to gold. If you don't know what shite is, have a look it up. What your money personality is. Are you a spinner? Are you the kind of person that goes up and down? You do 5 steps forward and 20 steps back. Do you have a financial lid over your life? Are you a tightwad, ladies and gentlemen? Listen to me. Are you an adventurous man? We're going to shift that money personality and make it a millionaire personality. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the 12 steps to financial recovery and acceleration. How many of you have lost money? How many of you want to live financially free? How many of you want to get out of debt? Many of you have had disasters financially. Listen to me very carefully. What's worse than listening to bad financial advice? Not listening to a good voice. That's more scarier and more dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to develop a financial pathway to freedom. We're going to also show you how to change your money story and your financial direction. We're changing the narrative and your direction one day. God did it in 7. We're going to build your business in 1. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Is Wealth Evolution Masterclass for you? Well, has someone made you feel like you don't deserve the things you want in life? Have you got those negative, nitpicking, thumb-sucking whiners there making you feel? Now listen, I want to not only inspire you, but I want to equip you and empower you. How many of you have made bad decisions with money? Listen, do you think that's going to change just because you bought another online program? Are you kidding me? If you don't change your psyche, you're going to repeat the same things over and over again. We have become addicted to broke, addicted to middle, addicted to patterns and behaviors. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you here blame others for where you're at financially? Well, the government, well, it's COVID-19, nothing to stop blamatitis. It's a virus. Well, it's the white man. No, it's the black man. No, stop the blame. Stop the blame. Blame, it kills wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, do you struggle to understand where you go wrong with money? I'm going to show you where you go wrong with money, and then we're going to fix it. Ladies and gentlemen, on top of that, how many of you want to shift your mindset around money and develop a millionaire mentality and create multiple streams of income through your knowledge? How many of you want to develop long and short-term financial goals without a budget? When I hear the word budget, it's like I'm getting a wedgie with my underpants, folks. If you don't know what a wedgie is, look that up as well. Ladies and gentlemen, have you suffered financial loss? Do you think you're going to keep repeating this cycle? These cycles become anchors in our mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to help you let go of the past and get on with your financial future. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm going to reveal to you. This is a big reveal. This is your outcomes. Listen, at the end of the day, you want an outcome. You don't want just a bunch of hocus pocus. I'm going to help you find your true life purpose, your message, and start sharing that with the world and build a global empire out of it. Just like I did with Elsbeth Hughes and with Jason Cunningham. I'm going to help you generate a $4,000 to $10,000 a month. $4,000 to $10,000 a month. Let me start again. I'm going to help you generate between $4,000 to $10,000 a month with your existing knowledge. You don't need any more than what you've got right now, just like we did with Elsbeth and Jason. I'm going to show you the psychology of what makes great investments and gives you high returns. I'm going to show you how to generate 2.1 million in 90 minutes, or at least how I did it, and how you could too. You can do this. Listen to me. If Elsbeth and Jason can generate collectively over 200 grand and there weren't even 90 minutes between them, what could you possibly do? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how to generate $250,000 a year with just 4 hours a week residual income. How do I know? I've done it 9 times in my life. The number one way to generate $250,000 a year with just 4 hours a week. That's it. I don't want you to work hard. This is one of the most wonderful strategies. Now listen to me. It's about monetizing you. This is where the money is, guys. How to cancel debt and become financially free. Stop living in Debtsville. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the greatest investment law I've ever learned and how you can implement it just like that. I'm going to reveal that law, which I teach my $100,000 clients. On top of that, how to generate multiple streams of income. I'm going to show you at least 12. All this in a day? Yes. It doesn't take long once you know what you're doing. It doesn't take long. This is the fast track, not the slow train coming. The 5 easiest ways that I personally generate $500,000 a year and you get out of life's holding pattern. I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, those simple steps. Now, what is included? Number 1, a 1-day training online with me. We're going to train you. Can you handle it? 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. Put aside, give me 1 day to make the rest of your life the best of your life. I don't need a long time. I just need an effective time. We want to do it like a concentrated perfume, ladies and gentlemen, not the cheap $5 bottle down there at Walmart. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work exclusively with me. Exclusively with me. We're going to teach you. We're going to show you. We're going to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work together. Isn't that a better word? We together. I can't do it without your involvement. I'm assure you, you can't do it without mine. We're going to give you wealth creation implementation strategies right then and there that you can implement immediately. I mean, not in a month, immediately. The strategies that you need to build wealth. You're going to have an exclusive session with the world's #1 online marketing educator, a guy that helped me generate literally millions in a day. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to also offer you an exclusive business opportunity. See, I'm not looking to sell you something. I'm looking for proteges and business partners. Do you think if you're in business with me, you're going to make money? No, we didn't freeze the internet. Do you want to be sold to or be in business with? I think you would rather be in business with. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to help you build a business in a day and launch it in 1 day. Build it and launch it. Build it and launch it. Build it and launch it 1 day. Ladies and gentlemen, how to build a business a day and how to be inspired. I want you to live happier, healthier, financially free, clear of viruses, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also going to show you on that day how to understand your money profile and shift it. This is so vital. It's so important that you shift. You see, you can't change what you don't understand. I'm going to help you implement the 12 laws of money, overcome your past and start living in the future. Pat, when is this on? Well, next Sunday, June 14th, live online. Live online. Listen to me, live online. Now, my Wealth Evolution Masterclass is normally a $5,000 US class. My great friend Tom, I know you hear people say he's asked me to do something special. Well, Tom did ask me to do something special. It's normally $5,000 US. My students pay it. Some of my students are online. You know that. Now, for one time only, Does this strategy work, ladies and gentlemen? Well, here are some of the people I've worked with. There I am interviewing Sir Richard Branson. There I am, the guy with the maroon jacket is Mr. Stefano Canturi. He's a jeweler for Katy Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and for the movie Moulin Rouge. There I am with Mike Tyson, 5 times toured with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hey, Pat, who's the dude up there with the dark glasses? That's Katy Perry's mum and dad. And there I am in my mentoring role with Katy Perry. Down the bottom left hand, there is Glenn Shorrock from the Australian world famous Little River Band. Does it work? Here's Elsbeth Hughes in 60 minutes, over $128,000. Thanks to my system and my mentoring. Here's Jason Cunningham, 23,000 pounds, which is nearly 50 grand US. Here's Sharon Jerd. Sharon Jerd was a realtor. She then owned a cleaning company. Sharon Jerd came to one of my events. Same event you're attending. $250,000 in 3 days. $250,000 in 30 days. Now has clients that pay her tens and thousands of dollars for her education. This is my friend and my student, Patricia Laverty, over $170,000 in sales thanks to my system. Ongoing, still building businesses, still prospering, still increasing. This was just done in a matter of days, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one of my students, Brooke Picken, one of my great platinum members. Now, this slide is wrong. He's actually generated over $108,000 from pushing just a few buttons. Ladies and gentlemen, the $78,000 was one email. You want an email, do a good list? You want to get access? You want a JV? Do what he did. He followed instructions. If I could show you the vocal on this, the audio, he'd say, guys, just push the buttons, just do what they say. The system works. Here's my #1 protege, Glenn Twiddle. This guy brings out Gary Vaynerchuk. He brings out Richard Branson. This is the guy that brings out Eric Thomas. Over 10 million. 10 million. This is the guy that says I created more first-generation millionaires. This is and by the way, just recently asked me would I go and speak at his son's school. Of course I will. Over 10 million thanks to our system, thanks to what he learned. Ladies and gentlemen, over and over again, Susan Kennedy, Klaus Geerling, here I am, Natasha Lukin. How many of you are ready to create your ultimate lifestyle? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to give you an amazing offer today, and I want to reward you. I've got a mega bonus. Not only are you going to get my online training, but I want to work with you and deposit something in you. Here's the deal. I want to work with people who want to turn their knowledge into a global financial empire. Anything less than that, I'm not interested. I want people that have an empire or at least want to work to build an empire. Is that you? Give me a yes. Give me a yes. I don't want people that just want to get by. I want to work with people who want to build an empire. So how many of you here want to take your business, your life, your wealth, your lifestyle to the next level? How many of you here want to go from middle or broke to a higher level? Here is the package price, $997 USD or 3 easy payments of $397. Right now, go to www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. Right now, guys. Now, I can't take everybody, but I can take somebody. I'm going to give you a mega bonus in a moment that's going to blow you away. Something I've never done online before. The package price, the masterclass, listen to me, $997 or 3 easy payments of $397. You're going to do the course before we even pay this thing off. Go to www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. Now, guys, listen to me. We're only opening this up to a limited number of people. I can't work with everybody. If something in your heart's saying yes, you got to go there right now, guys. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Well, Peyton, I'm waiting for my ship to come in. Then why are you at the bus stop? Where are you going to get the ability to build a business in a day for $997 or 3 easy payments of $397? Go to www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. Come on, you can see the link. You can go to it right now. Here's my mega bonus. One day that will transform your life. You can't make it? Don't worry. We've got replays. We've got all that stuff. Sunday, 14th of June. Listen to me. You can either make money or excuses, but you're not going to do both, guys. You're not going to do both. One day. Launch and build in one day. Ladies and gentlemen, my mega bonus. This is my entire life's work. Matter of fact, how many of you would like the 2 talks that changed my life that Mr. Peter J. Daniels gave that changed my life? Well, they're in this pack. This is my entire life's work. The 6 master volumes of my work, my 21-day challenge, which has sold over 3 million copies. My Mind to Succeed, the stuff that I've done for Richard Branson. My Prosperity Accelerator is my $3,000 Prosperity Acceleration Financial Masterclass. My Living the Dream event, which is all my mentors, spiritual and others, teaching at it. My What Makes the Great $8,000 Palazzo Versace event. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 25,000 USD of material I'm going to gift to you included in this, guys. This is my beggar bonus, my life. What would you pay for a man's life work? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you right now, immediately, $997 or 3 easy payments of $397. Go right now to ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. That's it, guys. ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. This is for you. I know it's going to change your financial life. Guys, procrastination kills wealth. If you're going to move in abundance, if you're going to move and become a wealth creation strategist, I want to monetize what you've got. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to label this with 50 other slides. I'm either for you or I'm not. One day that will transform your life. We're going to build and launch in a day. Now, many of my friends out there, and I honor them and I value them, they've got so many great things, but no one can build a business in a day and launch it. We're going to do this one day to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Guys, go to ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. $997 or 3 easy payments of $397. Go there right now, guys. We have a limited number available for you. Once those spots are gone, they are gone. This is for you. We're going to be here next Sunday, June 14th, live. We're going to amp it up, guys. We're going to turn the volume up. We're going to be engaging one-on-one, mano a mano with you. Guys, again, my mega bonus. Let me show you my mega bonus. My entire life's work. My entire life's work, I'm gifting you. I want to work with you permanently. This is stuff you can give your kids, you can give your grandkids. The package price, $997. Guys, you can't even buy one of my products online for $997. Go there right now, www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat, and get this program right now. Make that investment. You can be financially free. We did it for Ellsworth Hughes. We did it for Jason Cunningham. Ladies and gentlemen, I've created more first-generation millionaires than anyone in my country. I'm looking to create my next 10 millionaires for 2020. I want you to be one of them. Go right now, www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to tune back to the my team back there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Go right now to www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat and get this program. I know it will change your life. I know it will change your financial future. Do yourself a favor. Engage in a mentor. Change your priorities. JV with us. I'm looking for business partners, not someone to sell a product to. This is your access point. Go there immediately, www.ClicSeminars.LIVE/Pat. God bless you, and you have a prosperous life. Over to you guys in the studio.
Thank you so much, Pat. Amazing, wonderful information. So at this point, do you want to take some questions, Pat?
Absolutely, my friend. I'm still here. We've still got 10 minutes to go, but I want to encourage people to get to those. Some of you might think, well, Pat, what about if I can't make it Sunday? There will be a replay there. Of course, there will be a replay there. There will be ongoing. And guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Some of you saying, do I need computer skills? Guys, I'm a computer tragic. What I need is someone that has I need 3 things. Number 1, a willing heart. Number 2, an ability to learn. Number 3, someone that can follow instructions. The rest, hey, it's as simple as clicking that button and being part of this incredible event. But I'd love to take any questions that anyone's got over there. We'd love to answer any questions you might have, and trust the information was great and you're all inspired.
Well, thank you so much. People can always leave questions later, Pat, and we will make sure you get those. But more importantly, go to ClicSeminars.live/Pat right now to be able to work and get this amazing training from Pat Mesiti. So, Pat, I guess until next time, thank you so much. And we'll...
God bless you, man. Thanks, guys.
God bless you, sir. So let me see here what we got to do. All right, folks. Well, that has been the first presenter of the ClicSeminars.live presentations for the day. We've got another one starting at 6 p.m. Central, which would be 4 p.m. LA time. And of course, if I look at the schedule over here, 4 p.m., 12 midnight London, 7 a.m. in Singapore, and 9 a.m. over in Australia in Sydney. So until the next presentation, I'm Mike Stewart. Be sure to go to ClicSeminars.live/Pat to be able to get opportunity to get Pat's presentation and his offer. And at this point in time, we're going to say till the next presentation, which starts in approximately 2.5 hours from the time that I'm getting ready to end this. So thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful day. And we will talk to you next time.